YouTube, what's going on? Listen, we have a developer update coming up very soon where there's going to be a PTB and we're going to be able to test all this stuff out. I forget the exact day of when it comes out, but either way, this is coming out soon. There's one perk that I'm so happy got demolished in this bad boy. So let's go over this really quick, yeah? All right, first and foremost, we have the finishing Mori. The killer can now perform a Mori on the final survivor without using an offering, objects, and obstructing the camera during the Mori. Animation will fade away now. Great. I mean, it only took 8 years, W, though. You know, I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take it. You got to, listen, you got to accept the good with the bad sometimes, even if it takes like 10 years. But that's not bad. Finally, you know, if you get a Mori, sometimes you get a bush, a tree, a wall, a fridge, I don't know, that gets in your way. So it's good that they finally removed that. All right, I ain't mad. And if you bring the Mori offering itself, you just gain a large blood point bonus when performing a Mori on the final survivor. Not bad. I think two things that are going to be affected by this is, one, you might get killers that want to slug for the 4K more just to get that Mori, right? So you might see that a little bit more often. It already happens sometimes, not all the time, but you might see a little bit more. And maybe if you get found for, let's say the killer does get the 3K, but then ends up finding you anyways, didn't slug for you or anything like that, but ends up finding you, they might not let you out now just so that they could use their Mori. You know, so that friendly, like, oh, well, you're the last survivor. Let me get you out of here. Yeah, so you might get some things like that, which, hey, listen, sometimes they'll let you get the door. Sometimes they won't. I don't think it'll change too much, but just a few interactions, those friendly interactions might change a little bit, but that's fine. All right, so teamwork power of 2, typically it gives you 5% haste within a certain meters. It was 12, now it's gonna be 16, which is great. This effect will linger for a few seconds when out of range. Re-entering this range before the linger time expires will maintain the effects, which is great, okay? It no longer has a cooldown. It was apparently 140 seconds. No longer deactivates when either survivor loses a health state. I mean, damn, it made it way stronger. I think regardless though, this is only really, really strong in a Swift. So, you know, it makes the Swiffers a little bit stronger, but your average solo queue teammates are not going to be using this anyway. So I think you'll see like a couple YouTube videos about it, but I don't know how much more after that. And then besides that one, teamwork, collective, stealth, same thing. Instead of haste is going to be for your scratch marks. It's going to be 16 meters now instead of 12. No, if you lose a health state, it doesn't matter. But if you're both healthy and whatnot, I mean, this seems to be pretty good. Hold on, okay, the only difference between these two perks, outside of the perks themselves being different, is teamwork power of 2, you need to heal someone, and teamwork collective stealth, they need to heal you for the scratch marks to go away. You need to heal them in order to get the haste. So just keep that in mind. If both of you are injured, you meet up, you both have those perks, or if one of you guys have that perk, both perks, then it can be pretty decently strong, and couple that with a few other haste perks like hope and the boon perk that makes you a little bit faster, dark theory. It could go crazy, but it's so niche that I don't think outside of, you know, people going for YouTube content that you're going to see this on an average game. All right, so corrective action, you start off with 3 tokens, and every single time you hit a great skill check, you accumulate another token up to 5 tokens, right? And so what happens now is if a teammate is on the gen with you and messes up a skill check, instead of a good skill check, it'll turn into a great skill check. Minor update, not that crazy, not that great, still a perk that's not going to be used. Maybe if you're on comms with somebody like, hey, I hit a great skill check, miss one now, I guess. But this is not going to be used that often. I'd have to give this one, I don't know, maybe like a 3 out of 10. These two, I mean, if you have a good Swift, maybe like a 6 or a 7. And finishing Mori, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'll give it an 8 because I think it'll be fun for a little bit. All right, so inner focus is... it allows you to see scratch marks of other survivors, not your own. It's not to be confused with Nancy's perk. And then when another survivor loses a health state, by any means, the aura of the killer is revealed to you for X amount of seconds, right? So it's going to be, the aura reading duration is now going to be 10 seconds. There is no range, so anywhere that a killer, or rather a teammate loses a health state, you're going to be able to see the killer for 10 seconds. Maybe even adding that with Eyes of Belmont, right? Maybe, I mean, that's not that bad. for if you're big on aura reading, and if you want to have something like if you want alert, kindred, and all these other perks that have like decent aura reading, you can add this to it as well. Troubleshooter, to have eyes on the killer a lot. I think that helps sometimes. I say this all the time, but for new people, having all these exhaustion perks are not going to be it's not the craziest thing. What I want for new people when they play is to be a little bit more fearless with the killer. And I think aura perks help with that, coupled with windows of opportunity, because they probably don't know where the hell the loops are, etc. But aura perks for the killer are so crucial so that people are just not hiding 24/7. And they get to see kind of, the killer's movement, where they're going, their thought process. Okay, they're coming to check this gen now, etc. Right? You could even use that also for like a flashlight save in the future, or all right, cool, she just got hit over there. Let me try to get in position, right? So I could see this being multi-use. This is a pretty major update, I would say. I like this one. This is not bad at all. We're going to live forever now. Increased healing speed bonus to 150 was 100%. Survivors aren't left in the dying state often, so we want to make sure this perk is effective when the situation arises. Endurance effect no longer needs to be activated. Okay, wait, endurance effect no longer needs to be... Okay, so they just get it? Oh, that's amazing. Added a 30-second cooldown to the endurance status effect. Okay, so that you just can't give it to 18 people at once if everyone gets down. Only the first person. Okay, that's not bad. I'm not mad at this at all. 150% speed is crazy. A good Swift team that stops you from picking up might be able to, because somebody's at a pallet, they're out in the open, and they might have the triangle formation on your ass. So they all got you covered on every single end. If your teammate on the floor is also not next to a tree, not next to a wall, not next to a rock, I can see some good plays. I mean, I would have run it more, seeing this how it is now versus how it was. I was never a big fan of it. It is way more situational. The perks that I use, truth be told, I think about usage and percentage of use, right? Like if you, for example, resilience, you're always going to use a resilience. You're always going to get injured. We're going to live forever. Maybe they'll slug. Maybe they won't. Yeah, I know you guys are going to say some people slug all your games are slugged. It's not okay. It's impossible. But yeah, it's not as bad because the 150% is so quick. I mean, how fast are you going to get them up? Under 8 seconds, 6 seconds or something? 4? I don't know. It's going to be nasty though. So that's pretty good. All right, Poised. When you first start repairing a generator, see the killer's aura for 6 seconds. Damn. When you first start repairing a generator, see the killer's aura for 6 seconds. There has to be a cooldown here. Increased duration to 14 seconds was 10. Damn. Wait, am I reading? Wait. What did Poise used to do? So Poise suppresses the creation of your scratch marks. When a generator is completed, you benefit from the following effect for 14 seconds. So Poise used to be this? There's a lot of perks I'm not going to know because they're the dookie perks that no one's ever used. So now Poise is when you first start repairing a generator, you see the killer's aura for 6 seconds. Increased duration to 14 seconds was 10. What? Am I reading this right? To make Poise more appealing, we're introducing a new effect in addition to the original one. When you first start repairing a generator, you'll see the killer's aura. This will help keep tabs on the killer when you are throughout the match. This effect to help you cover. Wait. But now, if ever there was a perk that needs a cooldown, it's this. Because if what you're telling me is for 14 seconds, if I'm reading this correct, maybe I'm not. You guys tell me. For 14 seconds, I can touch the gen. If I'm just able to hop off of it and then touch it again, right, and reset the 4 seconds and just have wall hacks on the killer, that would be absurd. Oh, I can't wait to try this out in the PTB. That sounds disgusting. What am I reading? What? So wait, when you first start repairing, you see the killer's aura for 6 seconds, increased duration to 14 seconds. Okay, so it's 6 seconds for the aura reading for the generator, and then it's 14 seconds for the scratch marks, suppressing of the scratch marks. Okay, wow. Now there has to be a cooldown there, so you just can't tap the gen every 6 seconds. My lord. Okay, that is I don't know, homies. That might be a 10. That might be a freaking 10, dude. if they don't realize it needs a cooldown. Maybe they already have it, we just don't have that information, but that sounds broken as hell. All right, next. New Blood Rush is Blood Rush now activates for 60 seconds after being unhooked. Previously activated permanently when you were on one hook away from death. Okay. Blood Rush now deactivates upon performing a conspicuous action. I think they said it did there, unless they changed it there as well. Blood Rush now deactivates when exit gates are... Okay, when exit gates are powered, all right. Blood Rush no longer heals or provides the broken status effect. Okay, so you just get injured, but you don't... So you just get injured and you're not broken anymore, so you are able to heal. That coupled with that new perk, Moment of Glory, if you put those two together... Oof, I could see a imagine you could do Balanced Landing, you could do Lithe. Dead Hard wouldn't quite make sense with this. Yeah, Dead Hard does not make any sense, but anything else, Balanced Landing, Lithe, I mean, I don't Smash Hit. Nobody's gonna use it with that, right? Sprint Burst, of course. Yeah. So I think those would probably be the top three. And then let's say if you have Moment of Glory after using your Sprint Burst again, hopefully you can last long enough. I mean, that would be diabolical. So you can't use it during endgame anymore, or I don't know I don't know. Sometimes their wording is all over the place. That's a pretty big update. And you could you could waste a lot of the killer's time. Obviously, sometimes it's just depending on who you're going against too. Because, you go against the wrong killer, Huntress snipes you, Deathslinger reels you back in, you walk into a trap, Skull Merchant just injures you anyways, which I hear Skull Merchant got a nice little nerf. I can't wait to get there. But let's go. I think, all right, I'd have to give this like a solid, maybe 8? I don't know. I kind of like this. You don't get healed from it anymore, but... I'm not mad at this. And now it looks like you could do it on your first hook, second hook, so it's pretty good. So I can understand the not healing portion of it too for your exhaustion all over again. So I give it like an 8. That's actually pretty good. Quick Gambit. So what is it now? When chased, see the auras of other survivors. Quick Gambit now has a 60-second cooldown upon losing a health state. I guess they adding everything over there, right? Reduce repair speed bonus to 5% was 8%. Repair speed bonus no longer has a limited range. Repair speed bonus no longer has a limited range. What? Wait. When chase, see the auras of other survivors. Quick Gambit now has the 60-second cooldown upon losing a health state. Reduced repair speed bonus is 5% now. Repair speed bonus no longer has a limited range. Are you telling me if I get chased, everyone else just gets, no matter where they are in the map, gets 5% extra? Quick Gambit previously required survivors to lead the killer toward this generator in order to get any benefit. I'll be honest, that was always pretty stupid. This was very risky and often resulted in the killer chasing the other survivors instead. Yeah, duh, right? What do you think was going to happen? This perk no longer has a range requirement, now shows the auras of other survivors, so you can do the opposite, keep the killer away from them. What? To balance this out, Quick Gambit will now go on a cooldown upon losing a health state, making it more challenging to keep it active and providing the killer a way to play around it. I'll be honest, I think 30 seconds could have been all right. I'll take 60. I mean, maybe people will actually use this now, because if you don't get injured, and you get chased for it, I mean, even if you don't, 30 seconds of not being injured and then getting injured, that extra 5%, if my lord, if people are actually on gens, that's actually pretty good. So Quick Gambit, I'll give that a 7. That sounds dope. By the way, you can go to my stream. I promise you can ask anybody. I've been saying exactly what they did at Distortion here for centuries, because I play both Survivor and Killer. And one of the most, it doesn't matter what side you're playing on, one of the most annoying things that you ever play Huntress full aura And then no matter what, you just never find people during the entire match. You have like 3 distortion users. So you know what happens? That one person that doesn't have distortion is the only person you end up chasing because the other 3 keep hiding. And now inevitably the other 3 are also going to end up dying because they never took chase. They never wanted to. They hide and go seek survivors. I get it. Different play styles for different people. But damn, it is one of the most selfish perks in the game. It often leads to other people getting tunneled, camped, etc., because the killer can't find anybody else. Let's read it really quick. Distortion no longer has tokens and instead deactivates once used until the next time you are chased. It should have been like this from the get-go, right? It's all reward, no risk, how it was before. Now it's the risk. Now in order to get it back, you have to get chased. And that's how it should have been from the start. I did pull this up earlier. This is why the distortion nerf is going to be a problem. The last 3 days, 80% of the killers I've faced have been running full aura builds for three perks and then Iron Maiden. First of all, are you only going against Huntress? That is ridiculous. I don't know if a streamer or popular player has pushed it, but it's literally 4 out of every 5 killers. 4 out of every 5 killers. You know how much DBD I play? Get the hell out of here. 4 out of 5 killers I've gotten suddenly running this. Getting in lockers is supposed to be the other counter to aura reading, but with Iron Maiden, it's completely nullified. Distortion is the only perk survivors have to counter full aura builds. Nerfing that is going to cause a huge problem, and I'm waiting for the backlash to it. So here's my thing. If you just play, hear me out. If you play as if you know the killer has aura, you will play much better. I say this all the time, if you play with the intent to loop instead of play with the intent to hide, you will be such a better survivor for it. I promise you. If you hear the terror radius and your first thing is, let me hide in a locker, let me hide behind a rock in the corner of the map on Orman, just like, let's pray he doesn't check this. You're playing it improperly. You're giving the killer an opportunity to find you, get it like a fast, easy M1, out positioning yourself. You should always, in my opinion, get yourself ready to loop, not ready to hide. When you get yourself ready to hide, you're just gonna give. You're gonna give I can't tell you how many when I see a survivor just get grabbed out of a locker, I'm just like, oh my God, please. And I get it. We're new, we're scared, we're this, we're that. I'm just trying. I think it's better to promote a game style, a game play style rather, that's gonna assist you in the future. Because at the end of the day, if you're the only one left, right, or if the team, everybody else has 1,000 hooks and you don't, you need to take that aggro for the rest of the team. Aggro as in like taking the chase. Because if everybody else is on death hook and you've been hiding with your distortion, you're probably not going to make it out either. And I'll be honest, a lot of killers will probably end up saying, you know what? Nah, I don't know who this distortion user is, but I'm about to slug for them now. So shout out to Behavior for finally doing this. As a survivor, I hate it when my teammates have this perk. I don't hate you as a person. Heads up, relax, calm down. But I hate this perk because I think it just promotes hide and go seek gameplay. And then it just pushes everybody else to eventually, get chased, die. And then they also don't end up like making it out either. So I'm ecstatic about it. Let's see some of the comments here too. Behavior will just nerf killer aura perks that overperform. By the way, let me ask you guys a question. What would you rather? Would you rather 4 aura perks or 4 slowdowns? You rather Grim Embrace, Hook Pain Res, Corrupt Intervention, and I don't know, Deadlock or something? I'd rather 4 aura perks any day of the week. You know why? Because I'd rather have the ability to, I think aura perks, people give it way more credit than it deserves. All you need, if you always play like the killer knows where you are, then you're always ready for it. You're just ready to loop every time. You're just ready to loop. And that's the best part of it. If the killer can see you in a sort of situation where it's like a very high wall, and you can't see them. All right, that's a little bit different. But there are most situations you should be able to win. Most loops you should be able to win if you do your check spots properly, if you follow proper just looping ethics, if you will, for lack of a better word. Loop tightly, look for your exits, right? After I finish looping this, where am I going next? Greed the palette a little bit, especially on your first hook. You don't have to drop immediately. If you drop the palette immediately, the first chase with the killer should always be, okay, I'm gonna figure you out. Do you respect the palette? Are you gonna walk right through it immediately? All right, cool. All right, they respected it a little bit. Will they respect it again? Getting to a palette, and I was talking about this recently, but you get to a palette, you slow down a little bit, you fake it. I even have, a matter of fact, I'll link it above, some tips that I have for those of you who want to loop a little bit better. I'll put a few cards up there. It is so cruel. I swear. Instead of distortion, try using object of obsession. The killer is going to see your aura for 30 seconds. For 5 seconds? Every 30 seconds or so. So keep that in mind. But every single time the killer sees you, you get to see them. So it'll tell you when they have lethal pursuer, when they have nurses calling, when they have everything. I think that is so much better. And I think in the position where the killer can see the survivor and the survivor can see the killer, it's always at the advantage of the survivor and not at the killer when they can both see each other. It'll make more sense. I have another video also showcasing that. Hopefully I'll find it, link it somewhere here. But let's go next. Oh, matter of fact, let's read a few of these. Haven't ran against a single build containing more than one aura perk in 10 plus games. Thank you. Because some people just gas it up way too much. There's no way 4 out of the last 5 games you played, you had 3 aura perks in Iron Maiden. Calm down, bro. Unless you only went against Huntress. Aura perks have definitely become more popular because, they're just gutted gen regression perks. I think gen regression perks still do their job, if I'm honest. I think they still do their job. Distortion is a poor man's object of obsession. Why be afraid of aura reading when you can simply make it a 2-way street? My W, man, sir. Controller feedback is the go, especially now that Eyes of Belmont, I like saying it like that. I know it's stupid. And Scene Partner exists too. Thank you very much, man. This is the problem right here. Every single one of the replacement perks you mentioned is licensed. So anti-aura is simply and literally pay to win after distortion. I think in general, all of it, isn't it, at this point, pay to win, right? Because you have to pretty much get every single DLC. So, if you hold yourself to that, I guess, sure. But even still, even if you don't have object of obsession, you can still simply just not hide. And when you hear that aura, all right, I hear the matter of fact, when you're on the gen, all right, you're on a gen and you're working on it. All right. So I have this over here. I have my palette here. I have my window there. I have Shaq behind me. All right. If he comes first, which way do I go? And after I leave, all right, if I take that route, where do I go after that, etc.? I'm telling you, I have a full video. I'll link it here so that you guys can see exactly how in-depth you should be thinking when you're looping. So you don't mess up as much. It's gonna happen. I mess up still all the time, but yeah, if that's the case, then enjoy the slowdown free escape. You don't want a 1,000 killers with slowdowns. That is the worst. When you get hook, pain, res, pop, grim embrace. Oh my God, give me aura all day. Are y'all crazy? Holy hell. Distortion is 100% getting a nerf, and frankly, how distortion charges come back does need. Dude, it should be that you have to get chased to get it back. How is it that you could just hide in a corner and get it all back regardless? If you're in a 2-story map, dude, if you're in RPD, if you're in Midwich, if you're in the game, right? You just get it back for free because the killer's chasing underneath you or above you. Oh my God. And then you just keep hiding to get it back. That is so dumb. This is where I keep asking what, and by the way, I'm a survivor main. I play killer a lot as well, but I think I had my stats up before. It's like 57, 40 something %, some shit like that. So heads up. 57, no, it was even closer. It might have been like 53-47. Something, it was very close. Like, I'm like almost down the middle. This is where I keep asking, what do survivors want? Killers run gen defense. Oh my gosh, killer's boring. Cry for nerfs. Killer plays X killer, snore boring, and so on, so on, so on. Killer like Huntress runs aura builds for potential snipes. Consider OP boring and needs nerf. Killer runs me build. Insert complaint here. I agree, man. I agree. It goes on both sides though, but I do agree. They just want you to play perkless like and like a bot. Facts. We get the point. Overall, this is by the way, this is not a medium update. This is a major update, and this is a 10 out of 10. I can't wait. Maybe some people won't want to play after this or something. I don't know, but this is something that's been needed since, my Lord, since the beginning of time. Thank you, behavior. My God, I can't thank you enough. All right, so Lucky Star now suppresses grunts of pain and pools of blood as long as you are in the locker. This effect lingers for 30 seconds after exiting the locker. Okay, so just a longer duration. We're off before the killer left the area. It will now stay active as long as you're in the locker and linger for a set duration after you leave. Okay, that's pretty good. I'm not mad at that. I don't think this is too much, but for those of you who love lockers, here you go, right? You know, that's perfect. Genetic limits. I don't even remember originally what this did, but let's read this. Anytime a survivor loses a health state, they suffer from the exhaustion effect. Damn, player. Anytime a survivor loses a health state, they suffer from the exhaustion for 8 seconds. Wow. I mean, the biggest nerf here is definitely for Dead Hard. You can still use everything else a little bit, you know, like you could do, like if you get injured and, you know, Dead Hard is just killed here, for sure. So, I mean, yeah, so for those of you who really hate Dead Hard, here you go. Here you go. I wouldn't mind if somebody has this, though. If a killer's running this, that's one less regression perk. In my mind, that's the way that I think about it. Every aura perk you have, every, you know, carry build, meme build you have, that's one less regression for me. Honestly, that is my least favorite thing to go against a regression. So I'll take that. That's a big update. What the hell was it before? Leverage. When a survivor performs an unhook, their healing speed is reduced by 50% for 30 seconds. Wait a second. Leverage. When a survivor performs an unhook, their healing speed is reduced by 50% for 30. Damn. That is diesel. I mean, yo, listen, both sides are getting some pretty fun tweaks. When a survivor, so if I have we'll make it reduced by 50%. Damn, that off the hook heal is gonna be crazy. Keep in mind, there's a lot of other perks that you can utilize. Not a lot of other, but there are perks that you can utilize in order to get your health back faster. And honestly, I think botany or will make it are essentials that you should be running at least one. You shouldn't have a full build just for yourself on most occasions. You should have something for your team, you know? I've even been enjoying Saboteur. I've been playing a few games offline, and Saboteur has actually been kind of like popping off a little bit. So Thwack now starts with 3 tokens. Gain 1 token upon hooking a survivor. When breaking a pallet or breakable wall, consume 1 token and cause survivors within 24 meters to scream and reveal their location for 5 seconds. I think the part that it makes them scream also, if it was an aura, like if it just shows their red aura, okay, but once the survivor screams, they're aware that you see them, as opposed to, let's say, nowhere to hide, right? You kick a gen, they don't know if you have it or not. It's a 50-50 on their part. So I think they scream and then they just move is kind of, if it didn't notify them that you have it, then it's not as bad. But because of that, it kind of makes it not as good. You can also strategically leave pallets down, breakable walls. You can open up later if you're trying to find people and you can't find them. So it's not bad. It's not bad. I'd give it like a 6. I'd give it like a 6. It's not on the top of my list, but it's something I will try out when we do the PTB for sure. All right, machine learning. The most recently damaged generator becomes compromised. All right, yeah, you used to have to like kick 2 gens before, one got compromised. It was confusing. I didn't understand what the hell was going on with that perk. But now it's I guess the way it's supposed to be. So that's a W. So it's not a perk that I've used often, but it's I mean, it's cool. I mean, they made it a little simpler. I still give it like a 6. It's not terrible. Deathbound. Deathbound no longer has a distance requirement to activate. Deathbound no longer has a duration and instead deactivates when the healer is hooked. I'll be honest, I got to look at this because I don't remember what the hell Deathbound is. Whenever a survivor finishes healing another survivor for the equivalent of 1 health state, Deathbound activates. Causes the healer to scream and reveal their location. Causes the healer to suffer from the oblivious status effect whenever they are further than 16 meters from the healee until the former is hooked. I'll be honest, 4. I don't know. It still sounds stupid to me. I pass. No, thank you. Zanshin. When a survivor is within 6 meters of a drop pallet within 60 meters of your location, their aura is revealed to you for 10 seconds. Damn, this is the opposite of Troubleshooter. Zanshin Tactics actually got a W. There are certain moments where this is really, really good. And this is another reason why Object of Obsession is going to be a way better perk than Distortion. This is why, because if you're both at a jungle gym and you get to see the killer and the killer gets to see you, it is way more advantageous for you to see the killer because you could just play it perfectly, right? One mind game from him and you're cooked, you're done, you're injured. But if you can see him, he can't mind game you. It's just better. It's just easier. It's just Object of Obsession. Listen, for all you Distortion users, try Object. And if not Object, just play as if the killer can always see you. I'm telling you, that helps so much. Dead Man Switch now applies only to the first survivor who stops repairing a generator. Increased duration to 50 seconds was 30. So with this, I'm actually not mad at this. I will say survivors can actually counter this beautifully if they do it properly, right? So let's say you have 2 gens. One is at 90% and one is at 10%. If you're the survivor that's on 10%, you should get off that gen and get right back on it just to counter the other one, just so that your other teammate could actually finish the 90% gen in case they end up getting up for, or miss a skill check or whatever. So yours gets demolished. More often than not, though, it's very likely that they might have hook pain res as well. So if they don't stand up, they might get hit with it first. Who knows? But still, it is more counterable now, which I like. And 50 seconds, at least, they changed it from 30 seconds to 50 for that one gen. So that's pretty good. I'm not mad at this whatsoever. I like it. I give it a 7. I like it. All right. Blood Echo. Blood Echo no longer has a cooldown. Reduced duration to 30 seconds. Let me read exactly. Anytime, I believe Blood Echo is anytime you hook someone, right? Anytime you hook someone, everyone who's injured becomes exhausted, something like that, and hemorrhaged. So whenever you hook a survivor, all other injured survivors suffer from the exhausted and hemorrhage status effect for 30 seconds. Okay, that's not bad. It got better, 6, I guess, but boo. Cool, yeah, some cooldowns were there for the sake of being there. Hex crowd control. The last 5 vaults, if I'm reading that right, the last 5 vaults, which survivors rush vault, are blocked by the entity. This lasts until the Hex totem is cleansed. So this makes Hex crowd control super strong. 5 vaults is ridiculous. But also it's good, right? Because there's a big counter to it too. Cleanse the damn totem if you find it. That's actually pretty good. And it's a pallet muncher. Like, you're just going to go through pallets as a survivor because you don't have any more windows to play. So you could completely lock yourself out of a TNL wall. You could go from shack to 4 other windows and still have, so that's pretty good. I don't think I would run this because I don't like too many Hex builds, if I'm honest, because it just gets too crazy. But maybe running this with, Pentimento and Plaything or something if you want to just try it for a day. So it's not a complete waste if they get rid of it immediately, All right, I'd give that like a 6. It's not great. It's not that great either, but I give it a 6. Predator. When a survivor escapes a chase, reveal their aura for 6 seconds. This perk then goes on cooldown for 40 seconds. The cooldown thing is crazy that they use it for so much stuff here. I guess so, though. When a survivor escapes a chase, reveal their aura for 6 seconds. This perk then goes on cooldown for 40 seconds. Okay. Okay, Predator used to be trash. It used to be like scratch marks are tighter or something, right? So now so for stealth killers, this is really good. That's about it. It's not really good for anybody else. I mean, dependent on very, specific situations where it might be, but a stealth killer, you can leave him and then kind of like sneak back and, do something there as Pig, as Wraith, as this, that, but okay, that's not bad. Maybe, I was gonna say Scratch Mirror Myers. He has already wall hacks. It doesn't matter. No, I'm not a big fan of that. I'm gonna give it a 5, I guess. All right, Skull freaking Merchant Man. So medium update. They say decrease hindered penalty when scanned by a drone to 5% was 10. Brother, hindered penalty was 5%, and then she is faster too. And now they removed the Skull Merchant no longer gains haste when scanning a survivor. What a W. I'm assuming she's still going to have add-ons, but she doesn't get it at base. The fact that they released this even was crazy. These two effects combined to create a huge speed difference between the killer and survivors. We have removed one and toned the other down to a fairer level. My God. Maybe now she just will be like, like you're getting chased by Clown. Or maybe Clown will even be stronger than her now. I think, I'll be honest, a good clown can go a long way. A good clown could do some damage, bro. Oh, that feels so good. That sounds so beautiful. Reduce number of drone scan lines to 1 instead of 2. So I'll be honest, sometimes watching both of those bad boys go around, it was so annoying to deal with. So 1 is great, man. I mean, this is an absolute W. Drones are now always in their active state. Listen, they should be, because if it's only one line going around, I think that's fine. What? One thing I wish they would have put here. You know how when Trickster is throwing his knives, he has decay, like the knives start to go away. Like Trickster's knives decay and go away, and he's actively doing something to you, where she's just passively getting those little hits on you, where eventually if you get 3 of them, you have to mend if you're injured already, or you become injured. So I really wish they would have addressed that. Like if you're not in chase, or if you don't get hit with another one within 15 seconds, 20, 30, even 30, bro. Even 30 would have been fine. Then it starts to go away. I think addressing that would have been so nice, but I'll take what I can get, because this is already huge. Drone scan lines are now invisible beyond 60 meters. That's fine. Beyond being unable to see drone scan lines made them very difficult to play around. Accordingly, scan lines will now always be visible when nearby and invisible when out of range. Additionally, we have reduced the number of scan lines per drone to allow for more counterplay. I'm very, very satisfied about this. I think most of us would say we probably don't enjoy. There are some of you out there, some of you fringe people out there that like, oh my God, it's Skull Merchant the fucking best. Excuse me, turn on my mic. Yeah, no, I hate going against her, bro. There's never a time I'm like, like I see a Bubba, I see a Billy, I see a Myers, and my heart lights up. I want to end stream every single time I see Skull Merchant, I swear to you. All right, Hillbilly. Decrease time before overdrive starts to dissipate to 8 seconds was 15 seconds. Let me read that again, because I'm smooth brain right now. Decrease time before overdrive starts to dissipate to 8 seconds was 15. Oh, okay. So it starts to dissipate sooner rather than later. Okay, so it goes away faster. Okay, if I'm reading that right. Decrease overdrive movement speed. Okay, so they made him slower as well. Okay. I mean, I think he was overtuned, in my opinion. Decrease overdrive charges gain while revving and sprinting to 1.5 was 2. I'll be honest, I didn't mind how fast he got it. He was just super duper freaking fast. But 1.5 instead of 2, I'm not mad at that either. I'm not mad at that. Certain maps also make it a little bit more difficult for him to get it, depending if it's not a lot of straight lines for him to use his, like if he's on an indoor map or something. But I don't think I would have minded 2 still, but that's fine. Increased chainsaw miss attack cooldown to 2.7 was 2.5. I'm cool with that, because sometimes it felt like he got back on your ass way too fast. It's been great seeing the Hillbilly rise in popularity now that he's had some time to settle. We've identified a few aspects of his new overdrive mechanic that could use some fine-tuning. Overdrive tended to kick in very frequently. It did. It kind of did. Staying active for a large portion of the match. These changes will make the overdrive mechanic a little less common and provide less of a speed boost when it is active. We've also increased the miss attack cooldown slightly to make it harder to follow up A missed chainsaw with a basic attack. Okay. Twins, minor update. Increased Victor's cooldown when crushed to 20 seconds was 15. I'm not mad at that. I hate Victor. Increased cooldown after Victor downs a survivor to 3.2 was 2.7. I'm not mad at that. I hate Victor. I think we could just move. It makes Victor a little less viable, but still, he's still like unencounterable. What, you find a staircase, but if the Twins player knows what they're doing, which they probably do because there's only like one Twins player probably at this point, yeah, whatever. Just yeah, whatever, I guess. I don't think there's much to say there. Unknown. New HUD update to display teleport cooldown and hallucination spawn time. Okay. That's good because he literally doesn't have one. He just has the yellow markings on the side of the screen, which is absurd. Movement speed now decreases sooner when charging your power. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's actually really good. Okay. Yeah. So he didn't have that. He didn't have the... I think I used to be able to like tap my power over and over and I would keep the same speed just if I wanted to put my hallucination down in a certain position. So I'm not mad. Yeah, it kind of like puts him in line with all the other killers where once you use your power, you start to slow down a little bit, like Nemi, like Huntress, like everybody, Trickster, Pyramid Head, you name it. Adjustment to blurry photo and vanishing box add-ons. I'll be honest, I have no idea what they do. Improved visual and audio feedback when using UVX. Whatever the hell that means. I don't even want to read that. Oh, that's it. Guys, I'll be honest. This has been too long of a video. If you want some tips and tricks on how, of those Survivor videos, please check it out above. We have more videos coming up soon. Some fun videos, entertaining videos. I hope you guys like them. If I did, earn it, please do me a favor, like and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. And if you ever want to catch me live, guys, I'm doing a lot of DBD into then variety, scary horror games, jump scares, all the good stuff. So please come through, check us out. Love you guys. Be safe. And listen, Distortion, W. Skull Merchant, W changes, man. See you on the next one.